I grab the stand or just...
Everybody who's actually attached to the tree and not wired, leave it on there. Yeah. Everybody who's wired.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's okay. You got it?
Make sure to be up there by that button. Walk through the grass on that far side.
I talked to him. I'll call again. Get set up.
We took care of you, kid.
Ooh, I don't... Oh, God. Oh, boy. Is that good?
All right, mic check. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Hello 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. It's windy. Well, it's also on the ground. Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Hello 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Testing for OETA. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
Everybody's ready? Well, thanks so much for coming out and continue to report on this. And I just want to, first off, I was in Sulphur on yesterday, Sunday. I was in Sulphur on Sunday. What's today? Tuesday. Sulphur on Sunday. And again, just want to thank our media. Does a fantastic job of warning Oklahomans. We're right here overlooking the Dollar General that just had a kind of a direct hit. There were 11 people inside and no injuries. They were able to get to a safe room because of the advance notice that our media did. And we're honored to have the administrator here from FEMA. She immediately reached out. I've talked to her several times. The president called me also on Sunday, and so just really appreciate their efforts. We're assessing the damage right now, and then Senator Langford is here with us today. And so let me turn it over to the administrator. We're honored to have her in Oklahoma, and just really means a lot that they would come so quickly to personally assess the damage as we're trying to put our communities back together and then assess all the damage. We did an emergency declaration just right off the bat, so we can ask for some federal help. Sulphur, they're going to visit later on today, and in the Sulphur community, just like that, lost all of the downtown businesses. So we're going to do whatever we can as a state and a federal government to put the pieces back together. So, Administrator, thank you for being here.
Absolutely, Governor. Well, good afternoon or good morning, everybody. First off, just on behalf of the President, we just, want to say how much our heart aches for the loss of life and the impacts that these communities have experienced from these multiple tornadoes that went across your state. I'm here today to work with the governor and his staff to assess what the impacts are as he puts together a request to the president for additional federal support, and know that we are going to be looking at what other federal resources, not just FEMA resources, could potentially be brought in to support these communities, because we know that there is significant business loss, so the long-term economic impact of these communities, the schools that have been damaged, and the need for the children that get their meals from these schools. We know that there's widespread and different cascading impacts that these communities are going to feel, and that each one is going to have a different circumstance. And so we want to take all of that into consideration and ensure that we bring the right federal programs in to help the communities with the specific needs and the impacts that they are experiencing. So we're going to work through the day to get a better understanding of what the impacts are across the state. And with that, we'll go back and I'll give an update to the president on what I've seen and make sure we get the right federal resources moving in. So, Governor, thank you again for inviting me here today to assess this damage, and know that our team, our Region 6 team, will also be with you throughout this process.
Make just a quick comment. Senator James Langford, thanks for being out here as well. What the governor was saying, the media is exceptionally important in trying to get the message out to so many people to be able to warn them before the storm is happening. So we really appreciate all of that engagement. Region 6 from FEMA has been tremendous in this process. Administrator Criswell, thank you so much for your leadership, for being here immediately. You had to cancel your schedule today to be able to get here and to be able to spend the day with us in Oklahoma. We really appreciate you being here on it. But the Region 6 folks were literally here before the storm even came. We had Region 6 folks that were already activated. They were on the ground within hours. After the storm was over, we had the chance to be able to walk through everything with them on Saturday. And so there's been a lot that's been going on behind the scenes. We have small businesses that are looking for small business loans at low interest to try to rebuild. That's exceptionally important to this community and several other communities as well, because that is not only the people, the jobs, the families that have been there for a long time, but just the function of the economy of that community. For here in Marietta, it's extremely important. Obviously, all of these families, this hospital, this nursing home, major businesses that are here manufacturing, this is significant for us in this distribution center and the loss. So for this community, it's essential that not only get back up and get going quickly, but all the people that were employed here, it's important for all their families. So the areas we're actually pursuing right now, individual assistance for those that are uninsured, for the assistance for the county and the city and the state in some of the debris removal and the things that have got to be done, and then federal assistance where it actually can fit in as well and it is appropriate at that point. So we're working through this together. Part of our task is to be able to make sure we clear up the bureaucracy and make sure all the paperwork moves smoothly, and so that there's a quick response, so that where we can get a response, we do get a response quickly. So again, thanks for coming out, being a part of telling the story. As we always try to be able to say, There is an Oklahoma standard where neighbors are helping neighbors. Oklahomans were turning next door to be able to help each other long before there was any other government engagement. So I continue to encourage neighbors and communities and families to be able to find practical ways to be able to help folks clean up from the mess. And if you're asking, what can I do? Show up with the families and communities that are there. Look around, you'll see plenty to do in the cleanup. And so any way that individuals can step up to be able to help with the cleanup and the process is very much appreciated at this point.
Ready to take questions?
Yeah, we're ready for questions.
You talk a lot about the Oklahoma standard. Have you seen that? What does that look like? And what is your message to Oklahomans as you're rebuilding?
Yeah, I mean, just like Senator Langford said, I mean, the Oklahoma Standard was born out of the bombing that happened and devastated our state in April 19th, 1995. And so it's neighbors helping neighbors. We've had calls from the northeast part of the state. My mom actually called me and said, hey, there's some people reached out to me, and they're sending a group of people to cook food and bringing a skid steer to help the sulfur community. And so that's just what's happening. We have people reaching out all the time. Where can they give? Where can they donate? People from around the state. I had Mississippi reach out to me today and ask, and so I'm putting together a group of volunteers or places where people can send donations. But just like the senator said, the Oklahoma Standard is alive and well, and with the help of FEMA, we're going to rebuild because there's a lot of people. We're going to start with people that were uninsured and the small businesses and the Small Business Association or Small Business Administration loans to get them to rebuild is really, really important for us. We're going to go to sulfur here in a little bit, and like I said on Sunday, that was I've been seeing a lot of this stuff for 6 years as governor and growing up in Oklahoma my whole life. I'd never seen anything like sulfur. I mean, it's just totally demolished, and there were so many active tornadoes that night. This is just one part of the state. We lost a truck driver here. We lost a lady in Sulphur, and then 2 other people over in Holdenville. So.
Governor, can you talk a little bit about the economic impact this will have on the Marietta community with the distribution center over there for the family?
Yeah, I mean, this is a big economic driver for this community, and so I know that Dollar General is they're gonna take care of their associates. I was talking to their manager, and that's the first thing that they're focused on is number 1, their associates, number 2, the community, and then number 3, the store. So they're going to do whatever they can. I know they're good corporate citizens to help out. But yeah, it's certainly a loss to the families that work there, and so obviously our unemployment office will help and fill in the gap when we can.
A lot of people have talked about insurance because of the widespread damage. They're having a hard time getting a hold of adjusters and their agents. Do you have any advice to people for what they should do?
Annie, do you have advice on that?
Sure. We would want everybody to continue to report their damages and their needs to a website called damage.ok.gov. That's the most accessible thing, but we also understand that there's people in this community that might not be hearing this message. So we do have teams on the ground there. I have heard from the insurance commissioner, and he is ready to go there today as well. And so please do reach out to the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management. We do have somebody here that can share that contact with you all after the press conference.
Annie, why don't you introduce yourself too? Make sure everybody knows.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And my name's Annie Vest. I'm the State Director of Oklahoma Emergency Management. Thank you. Annie is A-N-N-I-E. Vest is V as in Victor, E-S-T. Thank you.
Are you encouraged by the legislative leadership? Are you saying they want to hurry up, add funding to help out?
Yeah. So in Sulphur, I was there with Speaker McCall, and then obviously one of the leaders in the Senate, McCourtney. That happens to be their district, so they were both there, and we're still in session. And so if there's some kind of a gap that we need to do on funding, we can absolutely get that across the finish line. And because we're fiscally disciplined, we have the largest savings account in our state history. That's what that's for, is to be able to help out in times like this. Because in Oklahoma, our cities, our police, our fire are all relying on sales tax. And when you look at Sulphur, just like that, they lost all of their sales tax revenue overnight. And so we do have to figure out and kind of get with their city leadership and figure out what we need to do from a state level to get them through this gap.
At this point across the state, would you say it's a multi-million-dollar recovery effort?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We're assessing the damage right now. And again, I just cannot thank the administrator enough for being here. She's already had her regional director on the ground. She'll take this information back to the president, and we should be able to fast track. And if all of Oklahomans will report that damage to the website that we gave, that really helps us accelerate that to get some of these federal dollars in Oklahoma for rebuilding. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks again. I think maybe, I don't know if they're going to take us through the hospital or not. Is that right?